What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. And today is the video that I've been waiting for almost 2 weeks now, and I'm sure you guys have been as well. And that is because we are finally installing the tune from Prey Performance on our ZL1. That is loud. So we've got a lot of stuff today, guys. We're going to be loading up the tune. We do need to install the wideband in the rear O2 sensors, so I'll kind of show you guys how that is done, and then we will be going out to get some data logs and make sure that everything is good to go. We are still on 93, so we're gonna leave it there and not worry about the 85 just yet. We want to make sure that the tune gets dialed in with the 93 and that everything is good to go before we jump up to E85. So with that being said, guys, before we get to this video, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I've had an amazing time making these videos and showing you guys what these Camaros from the SS to this new ZL1 can do. And we are on our way to that 10,000 subscriber goal by the end of the year. So if you haven't, make sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of my videos. Now that we have the tune, we're going to be moving forward in quickly to get this thing to run as good as it can. We've got a lot of stuff planned, so you won't want to miss. Before we can go ahead and load up the tune on the car, guys, we do need to actually install the wideband sensor in the exhaust. And because I still have bone stock exhaust, stock headers, and stock midsection, what we're going to do is actually install this wideband in the rear O2 position. Since we have gotten the tune now, the tune should have any of the codes for the rear O2s taken out, so the car won't be really worrying about the rear O2s anymore. So we'll go ahead and use that. You could also install or have this custom bung that's included welded on your exhaust. So if you do have a custom midsection that doesn't have a spot for the wideband, they do provide a bung for you to take to an exhaust shop. Luckily, we're not going to be using that, so it should be simple. Just remove the rear O2 and install it, and we're going to do it here on the driver's side. So I'll show you guys that right now. We'll jack the car up, we'll install the sensor, and then we have the wiring right here, which we're going to unzip and route around the back, make sure it doesn't hit any of the exhaust, and we should be good to go. Okay, guys, so we are under the car here, and we've got the little stock aftercut, but here is our main driver cat, and right is where our secondary rear O2 is. Up front, you might be able to tell there's a front O2, and here it is. So it's a 7/8, and then you can disconnect it by removing the plug right up there. Okay, so the wideband sensor is installed. As you see, I did zip tie the wire coming from the bottom way back there. You can see the zip tie there, and down there in the bottom I zip tied it to the old rear O2 plug, and then all the extra length I just kind of tucked here behind the strut tower. Now, before we can load the tune, we do need to install the Rotofab Big Gulp. And guys, that is the one that I'm actually super excited about, because we're finally gonna be able to hear the whine so much more, and I can't wait to show you guys some before and afters. Now, for the Rotofab Big Gulp install, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the box. It should be fairly straightforward. The only thing that I have seen that's a little different with the ZL1s is you do have to, I think, replace one of these little bolts. So that's about it. Should be very straightforward and not that difficult. Instructions are provided. So here is everything that comes with the Big Gulp, guys. As you can see, is beautiful gloss black housing, and you see Big Gulp series there. Massive 6-inch filter and the 5-inch diameter Big Gulp tube. Along with that, you do get all the different clamps, zip ties, the heat shielding and more clamps. I did order the sleeve adapter for the Big Gulp. This basically just goes over the stock throttle body, since I don't have a 103, which is what would fit better with this. This just ensures that it'll seal good with the stock throttle body. But like I said, instructions are super good, clear, color coded and everything, so go ahead and just follow the instructions. Shouldn't be too difficult, and get this installed. Everything is coming along, guys. Super straightforward. Again, like I mentioned, everything is super easy to follow. You have your part for your breather replacing. You do have to use new screws that are provided for the MAF. You got to make sure the orientation is exactly the same way that it was on here, but all that is good to go. Pretty much ready to install this on the car. Now over here, like I said, I do have this piece for the stock throttle body. Got the clamp ready to go there. I did zip tie off the intercooler hoses here so that they don't hit the belt drive. But other than that, pretty much just gonna mount it on, plug in the rest of the stuff that's needed, and should be ready to go. I did have to replace these screws here, like I mentioned. The one on the water shield here, I don't believe is really needed if you remove the water shield. I went ahead and just placed it in there just in case, for if I ever put the water shield back on, it doesn't bother with the intake. But anyways, let's go ahead and get everything installed back and show you guys what it looks like. And just like that, this thing is installed. Takes roughly 30 minutes to an hour at most if you're really taking your time, guys. One thing is to make sure these clamps are very tight fitting, but it's not that difficult. You should be able to get everything. Make sure that this fitting here is not touching anything. I'm gonna move it a little bit farther back. The spacer for the stock throttle body worked perfectly, and everything is nice and tight, guys. Always make sure there are 3 standoffs, 1 here and then 2 in the back. Make sure you remove the rubber grommets from the stock one, or they might get sometimes left in place in the car, so that you don't have any vibrations or rattling, and we should be good. Now the only thing left to do is plug our sensor back up, and that is it. And finally, what we've been waiting for, let's go ahead and load up the tune and hopefully hear it start up and whine for the first time with the Rotofab Big Gulp and the tune setup. Real quickly, Rotofab does provide you with these alternate fittings for the inlet for the vacuum. If you have some kind of aftermarket setup where you're using different type of breather, they do provide you with different sizes for the elbow connection. So you want to use the smallest size that's provided with the stock system. Okay, so we've got the car in accessory mode, so we can go ahead and load the tune. But now that we've got our wideband installed, as you guys can see, we don't have the sensor error code anymore, and it actually thinks that it's super lean because obviously the car's not running. But we're gonna go ahead and load up the tune. And for those of you wondering how many credits it takes for a 2019, and I believe 2018 and up as well. So 2019, the ECM is 4 credits, and then they got rid of the FSCM and gave us a new CCM, and that one is now 3 credits where the FSCM was only 1. So yeah, just the engine and the CCM for the fuel pump and dual mode exhaust and all that is 7 credits. Tune is loaded up. We'll put this car in accessory mode. I've got the HP tuners there. I've got the wideband teed into everything. We're gonna go ahead and connect to the vehicle, try to see if we can get the wideband information, and perfect. There you see it, it's in dark black. So now we'll go ahead and start recording. And let's see right away, first off, if we have E85 content. Now I don't know, actually there you go. So ethanol fuel, 9.4%. So our flex fuel sensor is working. Let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, let that log for a little bit at idle, and come over here and check for any leaks. I don't see anything. Everything feels good. Can't wait to give it a little bit of a throttle here, but we are good to go. We got to get on the road and do our first data log. So with Prey and probably many other guys, what you'll see many of them do is tell you to do some normal driving and also try to do a full pull in a certain gear to get a full RPM range. Now at the same time, you do got to make sure you're looking at your AFRs and fuel pressure and all that, but it's not too difficult, very easy. Should be able to do that without any issues. So let's go ahead and close the hood and get out on the road. I guess you could kind of hear the whine a little bit. Obviously we haven't really gotten onto it. Oh yeah, a lot louder, definitely. And that's just really light throttle there. I'm not really doing much, and you can definitely hear the whine much more. Oh yeah, much different. Can't wait till we do that first pull, guys. Now we're not going to do any numbers or anything like that because we are still data logging. We need to make sure that we have everything a-okay before we do a full pull across the board and do all that kind of stuff. But we will get the data logs, and once we get the revision, or if there is anything to be revised, then we can come back out here and get some updated numbers. Okay, so we're gonna get to about 2,500 RPM, a little bit lower, and go. Wow, guys, the car was spinning all over the place with that, and the logs look pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna do one more. We'll do one or two more, and then we'll look it over. Okay, so here we go again, basically from about here, and then we'll just go. Woo! 33 miles an hour, and go. Is so much more noticeable. It's insane how much more you can hear it. It really whines now for sure. Logs look pretty good, so we'll send that over to Brett. He'll basically give us some good instructions, whether everything looks good, whether he needs to update it, might send us a revision. And then when we get that, we should be good to go, and we'll be able to go back to the dyno and see just how much more it gained. But man, that felt really good, feels strong, and can't wait to see what power this thing puts down. Remember, we're still on 93, so want to make sure we get just the tune and intake basically gains, and then we'll throw E85 at it and see what it does. Just normal driving, this thing is awesome. So we'll get here, we'll try to slow down to about 2,500 RPM. All right. Well, guys, we're back home, and man, this thing was awesome. It felt really good. I looked over the logs, and it looks very good. There's probably maybe just super minor fueling additions that we can do to get it just perfect. But Brett knows his setups, guys. He had this thing pretty much dialed in across the board, the whole RPM range. But I did send that log over to Brett, and he will be basically looking it over and possibly giving us a revision. Or he might tell us, hey, you're good to go with where you're at. the car is running good. If he tells us and gives us a thumbs up, then next video I think we'll be doing our dyno and also maybe some draggy 40 to 100 fourth gear pulls to show you guys the difference that it made compared to our stock baselines. So super happy about the way the car is running right now, and can't wait to hopefully get it on the dyno and get you guys those draggy 40 to 100 pulls to see just how much of a difference the tune and the Rotofab intake made. Again, we're still on 93. I'll also go ahead and put some E85 and we'll test that. The weather is not the best this weekend. It's good right now, but it's gonna be probably raining most of this weekend, so hopefully we get some dry weather for the Camaro and we can do all that testing here coming up shortly. So if you haven't, guys, again, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to consider subscribing if you haven't. If you've gotten this far, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. And again, you can support the channel even more by going down to the link in the description below. Check out the merch. We do have some of the caps like the one I'm wearing and some shirts. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.